Hey everybody, thank you for watching the video today. I know that this is a little bit of a different kind of setup, but right now I am in the process of changing some things in my craft room, moving some stuff around so that it can look a little bit more visually appealing. So for right now, this is going to be the way that we're going to be doing some videos. So I hope that that's alright with you to not see my ugly mug. But I wanted to show you my new card. This is the envelope. This is the Mermaid box card. Take it out of the envelope for you. It does fold flat. You pop it open. Can you see that? That cute little mermaid scene. Fold it flat, and then on the back is where you can put your message. Pop that back open, and then it can set on your table as fun decor. I just love the way that it turned out. Just a little bit better view. Has lots of dimension. It's a really fun card to give. And then it just pops right back into the envelope. I love that detail right there too from the envelope. Just carries the theme on. So let me show you how to make it. Okay, so here we're at my blog, thebeardedhousewife.com. We're going to head to the resource library tab, and if you don't have access to my free file library, you can click get access. You'll fill out a form and then you'll be emailed a password. But for now, we're going to go to enter the library, and once you've typed in the password, you're brought to the files. So you're going to want to go to number 87, which is the Mermaid in a Bottle box card. Click on that link and then download it to your computer. Unzip the file, and then we're ready to go ahead and move on to Design Space. Okay, I have a new project opened up in Design Space. We're going to head over to the Upload button, Upload Image, and Browse. Find where we downloaded the file onto our computer. I'm going to select the SVG file and click Open, and then Upload. Highlight that image, and then click Insert Image. It's going to bring it into Design Space for us. And you can see that everything is already set for you, so we can go ahead and click Make It. And here's the matte preview. And I'm actually going to move the little flaps for the envelope onto one mat, so I only have to cut out the envelope one time. Give me just a second here. Alright, now we can click Continue. Now for this project, I'm going to be selecting a medium cardstock for most of everything, for the parts of the scene, the white part of the scene, and then the envelope. However, for the actual bottle, I recommend heavy cardstock because it will help with stability. I also recommend changing the pressure to more. And now we can go ahead and get started cutting everything out. Okay, so we're going to need our green standard grip cutting mat, our cardstock both in heavyweight and medium weight. There are links in the description for this video and the tutorial. Our scoring wheel or scoring stylus, depending on if you have a Maker or Explore Air 2. CRICUT scraper that helps with folds. The brayer to help with the paper. I am using art glitter glue. A weeding tool that helps with all the little bits. And then some tweezers. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get everything on their mats and then get it all cut out. So I will see you when everything is cut out and we're ready to assemble. Alright, I have everything all cut out, laid out here. So we can go ahead and start to assemble. I wanted to show you the different layers in order for the bottle. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hang on just a second. It looks like I didn't weed everything out. There are some little bits on those tabs and spaces on the bottle, so give me just a second to get those all weeded out here. There we go. Okay. So first things first, we're going to add the white overlays for the scene onto our bottle pieces. Come on, little guy. There we go. So I'm going to grab our glitter glue and just put some glue on top of the bottle layer. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add the overlay. I'm going to do this for all of the layers that have the scene parts. Alright, that's all done. Now we need to take this back layer, flip it over, take this, the message layer, which is the larger white rectangle, add some glue, and then we're going to want to put that on the back. This is for your message. Just want to make sure that you center it in that solid piece in between the tabs and the slits. Okay, that looks good. Set that to dry. Now let's take our side pieces we're going to add some glue to the bottom because we're going to add all of our accents, the little brown pieces or the wood accents to the sides, and then to the cork on the pieces of the bottle that have the cork cut out. There we go. Okay, so next you're going to want to take this back layer, flip back around so that the blue is facing you. Take your mermaid layer and you're going to want to line up the slits. So line up right here and on the left side, and then you're going to want to add some glue around the mermaid. This is for wherever you want the little fish to kind of be floating around the mermaid in your scene. You're using the mermaid so that you can kind of determine where you're going to place them. So now I'm taking the tweezers. This is totally optional, but the tweezers help me with little itty bitty bits. I'm taking the tweezers and I'm going to grab the fish and just place them on top of all the little glue dots that I just put down. Alright, we can take that off now, and you're left with your little fish floating around. Okay, so now it's time to assemble the card. Now this is a little bit of a different card. We're not going to be using glue to make the box itself. There are these slits in the sides here that the main portions of the bottle kind of fit into. So I'm just taking my finger to kind of make sure that all of the cuts are released from each other. And now we're going to take our pieces, starting from the back, and add them to one side piece. I tried to do this with both at the same time, and I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't work out well. So just do one side piece at a time. You want to make sure that the bottle piece slides all the way down. It is a little bit finicky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it really isn't that bad. There is the tab on the side piece and the bottle piece. I hope you can see that. And the tabs fit into the little holes that I have in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do one side. Just take your time. This is part of the reason why I recommend the heavier cardstock, because there is a little bit of moving around of the cardstock to make sure that the tabs get in there and everything sits right. If you use a lighter cardstock, it's going to kind of warp the cardstock, and we don't really want that. Alright, it's all done. The one side. I'm just making sure that everything is spaced out the right way. And now I'm going to take the other side. Let's fold the card flat. It'll be easier for me to handle that way. And then just continue to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I have it all fit together. This is how it looks looking down on it. Just kind of inspect the sides, make sure that everything is kind of sitting where it's supposed to. The spacing is as even as possible. I'm going to use my fingers here just to make sure that those tabs are pressed in the way that they're supposed to be. Now you can go ahead and give the card a good fold to make sure that once you open it back up, that everything sits exactly how we want it. Alright, now let's go ahead and do the envelope. So we're going to go ahead and fold along the score lines. This envelope is one of the slimline envelopes, so that's why I had to design it a little bit differently than my usual envelopes. So like I said, we're going to fold and press all of the fold lines. And now we can take our little cover panel here and apply glue to the underside of the envelope. Really make sure that you get glue around the cutout. You want to make sure to not get any glue on the score line itself, because then it wouldn't really fold properly. Come on, there we go. And now you can place the cover panel on top. I'm going to start doing this for my envelopes because we go through all the trouble of making these beautiful cards and then we leave the envelope pretty plain. So I'm going to start designing some custom complimentary kind of envelopes for all of my cards. I hope that you guys like that too. Okay, so we go ahead and press that to make sure that the glue is where we want it. Fold it to make sure that the fold still sits the way that we need it to. Alright, that looks good. Now we can take our side flaps, and I've already folded and pressed the folds. And you can see that's how it's going to fit. So we need to take some of our glue and apply it to the tab. I'm going to use my finger to kind of spread the glue out. Just make sure it's a nice even layer. And now line up the edge of the side flap with the edge of the envelope. and then press it down. And now you can do the same thing with the other side. Just make sure that you line it up and press it down. Alright, so that's how the envelope should look before we glue together the side flaps. Or finish the envelope, I should say. So now fold them in, burnish the sides, alright, now we can take our glue and add a little bit of glue to the bottom of the side flaps. I'm going to use my finger again and smooth out the glue. And then bring the bottom flap up. And give it a good press. Okay, so now we are all set. Let's take another look at our card here. Fold nice and flat. Slides right into the envelope. Add some adhesive to close it, and you are good to go. I hope that you liked this card. I hope that you make it too. If you like this style of not gluing the sides but having everything fit, make sure that you let me know in the comments. I hope that you liked the video. If you did, make sure that you hit like and subscribe so you know every time that I come out with a new video. Head on over to my blog, thebeardedhousewife.com, for more, and I will see everybody soon. Take care.